Hello people, this is Mark from Courage Change Works. Guys, hope that you are well. I read a little comment from Einstein the other day, and it simply said this: you cannot fix a problem with the same level of consciousness, the same thought process, the same way that you created it by. And I sat and thought about, my life in particular, the problems that I've created for myself. I can't go about and deal with them in the same kind of category of thinking. It just doesn't work. I make things worse. Well, I found it doesn't seem to ease the problem. It seems to complicate it. And then the other day I was listening to the radio again, something that I so very rarely do. Man, I absolutely detest the radio and certainly detest TV. And I was listening to what they were saying regarding a particular program that I just happened to catch the rear end of. And they were saying, you need to think positively. And I sat and thought about this, and I'm thinking, what on earth are you on about? And here's the problem with thinking positively regarding any particular problem. It's conscious level thinking. And you can't resolve problems consciously so much. Well, you can to a point. I'm not saying it's totally ineffective. It is partially effective though. The problems that we create is normally through our behaviors and our attitudes and how we speak and what we say, and that kind of stuff, which is unconscious behaviors, unconscious processes that cause us the biggest level of problems. So when we have to think positively about our situations and our problems and how we're going to try and fix them is really, really complicated. I would like to know any positive thinker out there to tell me how I'm going to fix my unconscious thinking process, because we will have a very interesting debate. Now here's the thinking as far as Mark is concerned. We can't think about it in the same way. We've got to think differently. So this positive thinking element here, it is just thinking down the same old that produces the same old that results in the same old. But when we start thinking differently, we will get a different outcome. We'll go on a different journey. Consider this: if you've got two parallel lines, if you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got, because they are parallel lines. Now this is my philosophy. If you take your parallel lines and you just move one slightly outside, I call it the half a degree rule. That if you think half a degree different to what you did, and this half a degree is something that you're processing in your mind, you're considering things, and then you think different about how you're going to solve your problem. Not the parallel lines, if you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got kind of stuff. That's a pile of nonsense. It will never in a million years work. However, when you move one slightly this way or slightly inwards, it doesn't really matter which way you move it, as long as you move it slightly outside the normal sphere, the normal path of doing things, you're going to find yourself experiencing different things. Your journey will be different. The sights you will be seeing is different. The people who you meet on that particular journey will be different, and they themselves will have a positive role to play in your life. So what am I saying? If you do the same old, you'll get the same old, resulting in the same old, and absolutely nothing will change for the better for you. You might end up feeling more deflated and frustrated and maybe a little bit more angry, because you're thinking you're moving forward when in fact you are actually pedaling backwards, because the world is moving forward and you are standing stationary. That's all I want to say at this point in time. If you try and fix your problem the same way that you've created it, you are actually moving backwards. If you want to move forward, break the pattern by doing something better, different. That way you will find some kind of movement in your life. Then it doesn't matter whether it works or it doesn't work, but you will do something different. Someone once said, if you can only do something by having two choices, you're in a major problem. If you've got three choices, you've got options. Because if you've only got one place to, or one option on how to resolve a problem, you're in a massive dilemma. So therefore, have at least three different options to give you movement up here to decide where you want to go differently. That is it. Guys, I wish I could talk to you more about these kind of things, but for now, after you've done all the YouTube admin stuff, this is Mark from Courage Change Works. I'll speak to you soon.